SMT Nation, we back. Nation, fresh off the video in which I disclosed some of the details of a possible, T-Mobile retail restructure at the company. No surprises, as things have been changing for the last several years since the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. And you've got market consolidation, you've got, industry maturity, you've got, focus and emphasis on margins. I'm kind of just looking at this video and thinking, how do I bring value to the SMT Nation? How do I let people know what I think is going to happen if and when this change does occur, right? People have been getting charged for making payments in the store, right? An additional fee. And if people aren't going to be permitted to upgrade as existing T-Mobile customers in the store, then what does that do to the rest of the store? I want to talk about that here in today's video. So I'll go ahead and link the original video I made for this news, right? So that way you guys kind of can catch up if you missed that video. But really, the overview is pretty simple. T-Mobile wants to charge you to pay your bill in the store, and then T-Mobile wants you to upgrade your phone as an existing customer online, right? And I asked the question, and I kind of looking for your comments as to whether or not that bothers you or it would make you leave. I speculated it wouldn't be that big of a deal. People would adjust. Most folks are comfortable working online, but it's just the pushiness and the forcing and the restructure is what we're monitoring, right? And T-Mobile has been pushing all buttons in the effort to become more profitable and try to squeeze out more margin. All right, anyways, the article will be linked in the description, and then ways to support us also there. Okay, so what do I see as the biggest problem here? Do I think customers are going to churn? Do I think they're going to leave because of all these different policy changes? Likely not. Most of the time, the American consumer is quite resilient. They just bounce off of different things like new fees, added fees, price increases. They just make adjustments, right? They change their expectations, and they just kind of keep it pushing. If something is bad enough, they'll obviously churn. They'll go somewhere else. They'll look for a better deal, that sort of thing. But what I want to make sure that we understand is just recently T-Mobile, hit us with the layoffs, right? They laid off thousands of folks, and they've been laying off thousands of people for the last several years. They try to do it quietly. They try to do it, in a very subtle manner. You just can't do that. You can't be subtle when you lay off thousands, right? And with no accountability or culpability to the merger anymore, they can do these things. They're going to operate the best interest or discretion for the business. So my concern with this move, if you stop allowing people to upgrade in the store, it reduces your need for retail. So that means possible store consolidations within specific cities and sections of cities and regions. That means you're going to need less managers. That means you're going to need less sales agents. You're going to need less folks opening the door, checking in people. Folks, the employees at T-Mobile that work retail should be very concerned. If and when this does happen, I want to be very clear about this. I'm not speaking it into the universe. I don't want people losing their jobs, but I'm not blind. And I have seen this play out before. T-Mobile's CEO, Mike Sievert, just said recently at that mass scale layoff that they were going to be not doing any more layoffs, and this was going to be it. He's a liar. They are going to lay off thousands as a result of this. There are people that work at T-Mobile in the retail space that probably 90% of their job is upgrading people's phones. And you're going to take that away. If you take that away, you probably need half of the staff that you currently have. That's going to cut the payroll in a big way. Their only concern right now is margins, profitability, and revenues. They don't want to operate retail in the older sense, in the way it's always been. They see that customer is comfortable working online. They want to capitalize on that. So that means warehousing, doing everything from hub locations and centers, and getting away from retail and time wasting and inefficiencies. There are going to be thousands of folks that are going to be laid off at T-Mobile retail, and there will be hundreds of store closings across the country. And I don't care that they're opening up a random store in Biloxi or some corn country, Ohio, or corn country, Nebraska. That's cute. That's nice. But they will close dozens of stores across that same state. Just open the one where they don't have retail, right? So they built towers, they got coverage. Now they can open a store because the traffic will command it. The switching pool will command it. They'll be taking Verizon and AT&T customers because T-Mobile will give them taxes on us and Netflix on us and all these other things. So they'll compete in that space. But folks, there will be hundreds of stores shut down. There will be thousands of agents that will be fired and laid off. Their jobs won't even exist anymore because of this move. And hey, I'm just calling a spade a spade. I'm not trying to predict it for the sake of speaking it into existence. But we've seen this played out. Anything otherwise, any other thought process would be naive and insane. We have seen this happen before. And we've seen it from this company before. So it's coming. In fact, if I was a retail employee at T-Mobile, I would be looking for other options. I would be playing the field over the next 6 to 12 months. Be prepared, be ready, keep that resume sharp, and start looking for a more secure position at a company that doesn't view you as disposable. There are some good companies out there, folks. You don't have to work for a piece of shit company like T-Mobile. You really don't. Or any carrier for that matter. Right? They'll lay off anybody. You see what AT&T does every quarter, every year. You see what Verizon did with their call centers and their reps and agents. So they're all the same. All right, tell me what you guys think of all this. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.